Hey guys, welcome back for another Java tutorial, and in this one we're going to be talking about constructors. And what a constructor is any information that an object would need while it's being built, which is like in like this line here. Like when you make your object, any information that this object might need when you create it. So like if you look up here at the scanner, like when you make it, it's the same thing. Like it's, you know, the class name with a variable, with a variable name, and then new class name here. But inside here we have system.in, and inside ours we have nothing. Like that's where the information would go when you make a constructor. So let's make a constructor. So at first, before we make a constructor, we're gonna set up an attribute for this class, and we're gonna call it int number, and we're just gonna, that's it. We're just gonna make it number. But don't forget to make it private because it is an attribute. So, you know, private integer, only for this class to see. So now we're getting to the constructor part. This is how you write one. You write public, and then you write your class name. You just write the class name. You write the word public, like I said, and then the class name. That's how you make a constructor. And this one right here that I just made, Java pre-makes for you, because this is the one that takes in no information and does nothing. This is the one that, when you go over here, this is what you're doing. So you don't have to write this every time you make a class if you don't want to. Unless you want to make multiple constructors, which we'll go over towards the end of this. But anyway, inside the parameters for your constructor is where you put what information the object would need. So in this case, because we have an attribute that's an integer, we're going to take in an integer. And then the integer that you take in, you're going to store into this integer up here. So this would be number equal num. So all this constructor does is it takes an integer and then stores it in this variable up here. So here's how you do that. You inside when you make the object here, you just write a matching thing. So here's your num. Here's our num variable that we've been using, and we just put it in there. And now this allows us to reference like this number variable throughout other methods in the class if more than one method needed it. Because this is an attribute, so all this belongs to every method inside the class. So it's not just owned by this here, but it's owned by the entire class. So now if we go over here, we can write info.message, and how we used to have to put the number inside the message parameters, we don't have to do that anymore because the number is just given to the object every time we make it. So let's run the program. Enter num 24. The number you entered was 24. So same result that we've been getting, just a different way to do it. So now, like I mentioned, you can have multiple constructors. So if you want to have multiple constructors, you just rewrite a constructor and then just do it like that. Oh, messed out the 2. So like you can have it's the same thing. You just put public and then the class name, and then the only thing they have to be different in is this right here. Inside the parameters, they have to have different information. Like that one's a blank one. The second one takes in an integer, and you can have a third one that can take in an integer and then a string. If we wanted to make a private string for name. And now we could do number equal num, and then name equals name. Or let's change the name up here. Let's call it let's give it name with a capital N, just to make it different than this one. So this is 3 different constructors. So now every time you make an object for this class, you can actually give it different information. Like info2, you can make new tutorial, and you can give it the num, and you can give it like mat, Oh, but the strings have to be in quotes. Don't forget that. They're still strings. Or you could just do a blank one. Info 3 equals new tutorial. And then blank. So, why is this getting an error message? Oh, because I left out the 2. So this is like, these are all constructors when you make the object, when you make a different object. But they all take in different information, and they're allowed to do that because of the 3 different constructors you made. So that's an advantage of making constructors, is when you already have information available to you, you might as well use it right away. Otherwise, you'd have to manually set, number equal to number, name equal to name. And this is just much easier to do right off the bat if you just have, the information already. So I hope you guys understand here, and thanks for watching.